Happy Creator Link. Ba, ba, ba. Welcome back to Happy Creator Inc. I'm Deej. I'm the host of the show, and you could probably hear my voice not 100%. I'm not great. I got sick. I think it was strep throat. I don't know what it was, but I lost my voice, which is like the first time I think I've ever lost my voice. So that was kind of weird. And I needed to rant so bad. Oh my god, I needed to get this out in the open, and because some things happened on Twitter. I think it was like a week ago at this point, and it went down right as my voice was gone, so I couldn't make a video about this, and it oh my fucking drove me up the wall. It drove me nuts, and the whole time I've been sick, I'm just thinking about getting my voice back so I can fucking let loose, you know. But luckily, like, as the time passed, my anger subsided, and it's replaced with a calm demeanor of sickiness a little bit still. But I was like thinking, like, do I even still want to make this video now that, like, I'm not mad about it anymore? But I was like, I do. I think it needs to be said. I think it's important to make stands when there's wrongs in the world, you know. Even if you're alone and by yourself, I think it's important to stand up for what you believe in. But so we need some context. You need some context for what I'm talking about. I took screenshots. I got all the receipts. It all started on. I gotta look through the through my screenshots. It all started. It looks like the 20th of January. Yeah, it's the 29th. It's been over a week now at this point. This game, Knight's Path, had come. I don't know if they just announced it then or what, but they announced their game. They showed a trailer, and to be honest, like, when I saw of it, it just kind of looked like fucking Temu Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like, honestly, the Walmart version of Kingdom Come. Like, that's it. It didn't look all that special to me, but you know, it looked fine. Like, it's okay. Like, a little fucking indie night fighty game. You know, whatever. I don't know anything more about it, but I saw the trailer as a thing, and I was like, okay, whatever. But somebody replied to their thing and was like, I hope you'll have some LGBTQ representation in the game. And they replied, we care about gaming and fun, not modern agendas. Which fucking rubbed me the wrong way, like, instantly. It rubbed everybody the wrong way. The tweet went viral. Because it's like fucking homophobic, red pill rhetoric type shit, you know? And not only that, but it's one of the stupidest takes there is, because being gay or trans or queer or anything, not modern. Just, like, since there's been fucking humans, there's been a little gay. There's gay cavemen, you know? There was fucking gender, like, questioning fucking cavemen and women, I think, in the fucking cave. You know, they're like, damn, I want, you know, he wear loincloths. I want to wear loincloth and not a top. And, you know, come on. That, oh gosh. I am still sick. Pissed me off though. And that was just, like, it's a stupid take. It's just stupid, you know. You know, it's not a modern thing. And so that's like the context of where the story starts. They tweet that. And I tweeted, let me see, where is my tweet? Because I retweeted, where the fuck is it? Is it just, hang on, because the thing is, here we go. Okay, I saw somebody was tweeting about it, like an artist I follow was talking about the controversial viral Knight's Path tweet. And somebody replied to them and said, I would respect them more if they didn't pull the no modern agendas bullshit. which I agreed with, And so I replied, no modern agenda like being gay isn't the most historically accurate thing ever. No part in history was without LGBT, and no part in the future will be without it. Because like you're born with it, and you can't eradicate gay people. It's like they're always the gayness, and sorry, my brain is all like frazzled still. But I replied to that, and let me show you some of the replies that I got to that from that tweet, just to like set the mood here. Because I got one person that said, "Gay people are like 1% of the population. You do not need to be in every single video game that exists." One, I think is more like 10%. I think from what I read, more like 10% LGBTQ. I think. Two, 99.9% of all media is like straight shit. It's fine if a gay person exists in a game. The reason it's important is because there's still so much stigma, and not a lot of representation. It's still like a controversial take for someone to be gay in a game. That's a problem. And three, never advocated for every single game needing a gay person. It's on a checklist, bitch. But being that there's a gay person there, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And so that was one. Another one I got. You certainly weren't accepted at every stage in history, and your constant annoying behavior is driving people back to that. So shout out to that guy. Is his? Oh, I thought his he's a Pepsi Man enthusiast. I see his profile picture. See, we could agree on Pepsi Man being cool. Why do you have to do this? Like, that's such an insane take to me that, hey, I know you're being oppressed. You're a minority group. But shut up about it. You're annoying, and you deserve to be oppressed now because you keep talking about being oppressed. Like, what kind of backward ass logic is that? It's like what the like, what the fuck? Like, these are the people that I was arguing with, and the people that I'm going to talk about are shelling out for. It's like God, it's just such a crazy thing. It's like being a little annoying justifies, it being illegal for you to exist in like several countries. Like what are you talking about? Fucking Pepsi Man, Jesus. Like, okay, that's like the context. Okay, that brings us to like the topic of the video. Basically, is last year my game of the year, won my game of the year award. My favorite game I played was Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen. So I was fucking hyped when I learned that the original creators of that game, were making a new spiritual successor to Blood Omen. I followed immediately. I follow along their stuff. It's been like a week. Well, I guess it's been like 2 weeks now. Maybe 3. I don't know. It's been it's not long since when I found them. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm super excited for this. And so I've been following along, and the thing is that it's called Deadhaus Sonata, and fine game, fine name. What I've seen of it looks pretty interesting, and I love Legacy of Kain. I have Soul Reaver loaded up, ready to play. I haven't played it yet. I played it as a kid, but I've never played it as an adult, and so it's like loaded up, ready, and I was gonna play Blood Omen 2. I was gonna play like all these games like this year. I was gonna run through them all. But I was excited, okay? And I was a lot less excited when 3 days after the Knight's Path tweet, they tweeted out, comment if you really, 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 really blah, 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 want politics/agendas to be taken out of video games. I was like, oh my fucking god. They're appealing to the right-wing fucking insane cancel culture people, the homophobic people. Because that's what that means. It's a dog whistle, bitch, for gay people, black people, anyone that's not white and straight, basically. It's a dog whistle. That's what that means. I don't know if that's I didn't know if that's how they were intending it to come across, but that's what it means. It's like, um, yeah, if I throw out the fucking the Nazi salute and not knowing what it means, it's still bad. You still you might not be a Nazi if you don't know what it means and you accidentally do a Nazi salute, but people are gonna think you're a Nazi doing it. So they say that, and I reply because I'm upset. I reply, and see, I'm pissed off at this because I did 2 replies. I replied to the tweet, and then I quote tweeted it, and and the thing that sucks is that I quote tweeted it and said, everything artistic is made through the lens of political and cultural influences on the artists themselves. They can't be separated. I'd rather you just hate crime me than play this pussy game of dog whistles, because I'm so fucking done with, honestly, the right wingers. They're pussies, honestly. Like, they can't say shit because they're scared of getting canceled or whatever. They can't actively, openly be racist or homophobic yet. They're pushing for that, but they can't. And so they say all these little code words and shit because they're bitches. And I'm so sick of it. It's like they'll do a Nazi salute, and you're like, you're a Nazi. You're doing Nazi salutes. That's not good. Like, it's a Roman salute, actually. Like, no, bitch, just say what it is. You bitch. So I'm sick. I was sick of it. I retweeted that, and then I replied to their thing. Well, they liked that tweet. I didn't think they'd see it. They liked my reply, or my quote tweet, and then I replied to their actual tweet. Not as thought-provoking, is why I deleted it, and not to get dogpiled by the people they're shilling for. But I was like, you mean gay people, don't you? Like, this is what it means. And I was like, I don't like it. I just deleted it, because I got my quote tweet that's better articulated anyway. I wish I hadn't deleted it now. But I deleted it, and they replied before I deleted it and said, not at all. It's simple. We're all gamers. Let's keep it that way. We welcome everyone to play our game. Doesn't matter your beliefs, sex, politics, etc. And it's like, you can't use right-wing homophobic dog whistles, but then be like, I want everyone to buy my game to make the most money. But also, catering, to homophobic people, basically. And, I was so fucking mad at that. So I replied. I was like, I deleted my reply to avoid getting dogpiled by the anti-woke crowd you're catering to, because that's what they're doing. But an admission from politics is a political stance in and of itself. You're playing into the bigotry by making this kind of statement. Because, like, me existing, a gay person existing, trans person existing, it's not a political statement. It's just a fact of life, Like, at one point in history, saying a black person doesn't deserve to be a slave, they deserve freedom, was a political stance. And I think back in the day, Deadhaus Sonata, if it's a fucking little Penny Dreadful in the newspaper, I think they would say the same thing. I think that, well, we don't want to say black people deserve freedom in our book because we want to avoid politics, which is just a thing by saying we want the most people to buy our game without standing up for anything because we're pussies and we don't want to actually stand for anything. That's what I got out of that. It's like, you can't play both sides, If you want to lean into the fucking right-wing crowd, go for it, okay? You're a piece of shit, but you can do that. Don't do it, but then the minute I'm like, you're kind of doing that, just like, well, we're all just gamers, aren't we? Just buy our game. It's fine. Like, no, I'm not going to buy your fucking game. But then I replied after that, because they didn't reply to my tweet, that trying to be and like take politics out of it is a political statement as of itself. If there's a table with 9 Nazis and your best friend Dave's at the table, well, guess what? It's a fucking table with 10 Nazis now. It's like, you can't be working with people like that. But I replied to my tweet again because they still didn't reply. And I said racist and homophobic people say they don't want politics in game as a substitute for saying they don't want LGBT or anyone not white in their game. So what political agendas are you talking about not wanting to include or critique? It's not simple at all. Because, they said it's as simple. We're all gamers. Because I'm trying to push people to fucking make a stance of any kind. Like, I would rather them... I wanted them to say, that they're not homophobic. That, they support LGBT. And stuff to kind of reassure me that they're not pieces of shit, that I can buy their game. But honestly, if they would have came back and called me a slur, I would have respected that more than them just playing this fucking game, of being in the middle, but trying to cater to both sides to make his most money, But again, they still didn't reply. And I really wanted to push them to like say anything, and so I was like looking at like here's some of the comments underneath, like some of the replies to that tweet. This person says that's what ruined modern games in the first place, and they replied, "There's no doubt. A game is supposed to be something to get away from the real world or escapism. I don't want to drag the real world into games I play. Well, bitch, everything is like the thing that pisses me off so much." And they said exactly this is how it used to be. And it's starting to come back, especially in the indie space. They say this like fucking Blood Omen wasn't like political. It was, about like the fucking the failure of like a system, like a system of that governed everything, and how corruption runs through that bitch, like fucking crack in the 80s and ruins everything. Not to mention the moral justification of a genocide. Is it justified if they're vampires, And it's like, there's so much to unpack politically in that fucking game to them just to be like, yeah, it used to not be political at all. I don't know why there's gotta be gay people in this one. It's crazy. I'm like, I feel like I'm living in the fucking Twilight Zone. Like, I don't understand how people can have these kind of like, these fucking stances. It doesn't make any sense, Because like, you want to get away from the real world or escapism, then fucking go to sleep, bitch. What do you mean? Like, everything, like I said, everything artistic is made politically. Everything can be political. Everything is kind of political influence because politics is just life, basically, And not only that, but they can tell stories, and like Star Wars, one of the most politically fucking things ever. It was like a thing for the Vietnam War or whatever. And it's like you lap up some fucking Star Wars without having to think about the Vietnam War, because you can also separate the art from the real world counterpart, But it's important to make that stance. And let me see, where's my other tweets? And here's another tweet too. This is like what really sealed it to me. Was this fucking person was like, indie games are the only ones that understand this. Why does everything have to be woke? I support you and Knight's Path too. And these fucking pieces of shit at Deadhaus Sonata devs, we hear you loud and clear. And that says it all, like, by itself, like what? I'm still so shocked that people are actually anti-woke, because being woke just means to be aware of, the struggles and cultural, like the way societies fails minority groups and the struggles that they go through. That's what being woke means, and you're against like sympathy and compassion for minority. Like for minority, how do you do that? How do you do that and go to sleep at night? It's insane. It doesn't make any fucking sense, and it's like how. It's like how are you against that? Like I said, like back to, I keep using slavery as like a comparison, and it's not 1-to-1, but it's like, again, back in the day, it would be a woke stance to be against slavery, so like would they be, well, actually, they probably wouldn't be against, or they'd probably be for slavery, like, the right wing, or, like, they're right on that line, you know? They would love some fucking slave. They would eat that shit up. And so, you know, they're easily siding with awful people, you know. But, you know, again, I'm trying to get them to admit it. So I replied one more time. I was like, I still love to know what political agendas specifically you want to keep out. Because I want to give them an out, at least, you know, to be like, actually, you know, the political agendas we don't want is the pushing of, like, the idea that you can't trust news sources, or you can't trust scientific facts. Maybe be against those political agendas, because those are real political agendas. But they never fucking replied. I did get one reply from this one person. I don't know what the fuck they're trying to say about all games are political, says the extreme smart individual who can't tell the difference between Metal Gear Solid, BioShock, and this picture. And of course, like, any political game, anyone always brings up Metal Gear Solid or BioShock. It's like the only two examples they have. They don't have any other examples because they're not smart enough to think about the political things of games, you know? They're too stupid for that. And I never even said I was like some kind of extremely smart individual. You pick up fucking context clues, bitch, and you read. Like, you just learn to read. Like, that's it. These are the fucking people. I'm arguing with these people that think that they're the type that the irk of irk? Is that the right word? They're those people that are like, they complain about books, the symbolism in books of, like, the curtains were blue to represent this person's sadness, and they're like, no, they're just blue. And it's like, well, bitch, they don't pick up any kind of subtlety, symbolism, or like anything beyond surface level shit because they're stupid. They're too stupid for that. These are the people that they're catering to. What is this one? Metal Gear does it right, though, without being preachy at all. Metal Gear Solid, not preachy. They're not in your face with its anti-nuclear stance at all, apparently. They're so dumb. Excellent point. We're more referring to agenda-driven slop that affects the game itself, as you said, preachy, which gets very old. It gets old very fast. So, like, again, you know, being a little bit too annoying about, you know, wanting equal rights and not to be, like, hate crimes is grounds to be hate crimes, I guess, you know? And that's such a funny thing of, like, Metal Gear Solid. Because I love Metal Gear Solid. I fucking eat up all the Metal Gear Solid games. I fucking love them. Like, they're the most in your face with, like, what they're about, you know? And to be like, well, they're not preachy about it. And I can't, like, I lose brain cells thinking about these fucking morons and talking about these idiots. And so anyway, it was like the next day, I think, that they said, like, but at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the game and its gamers, which we all are. And then they retweeted it again. It was like, labels and agendas build walls. Games build worlds. We build for players. And then they replied to that. No, they replied to Knight's Path. Okay. So yeah, this is just like, labels and agendas build walls. Like, it's not... Are they advocating for, like, a genderless, raceless group of people that only exist to consume Deadhaus Sonata games? I think that's what they're advocating for. They just want sexless, raceless people. So they're actually pro non-binary. They're pro LGBT too. LGBTQ, I guess. Okay. Well, I'll delete the video. I'm changing my stances. They fucking laugh. They even replied to Knight's Path. They're trying to get that fucking retweet. They're craving. They want that marketing so fucking bad. They replied and was like, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the game and its gamers, which we all are. Everything else is noise and totally irrelevant. Good on Knight's Path for having a spine. they say, as they called gay people a modern agenda, political agenda. So I replied to that. I was like, no, you're spineless for shilling to the alt-right to push a few extra game sales at the expense of minority groups. And the thing is, too, about that is that, oh, I'll have more, actually. Hang on. I forgot. And the thing that's so funny about that is the fucking alt-right has a track record of saying they want not woke things, but then they make not woke things, and they fucking suck, or they don't buy them. So, um, this, this like, this marketing strategy is not even gonna work for them. So, haha, I guess. Like, that's what they do. They're like, we gotta push for this anti-woke game, and then it's like, it's just some bullshit that has no depth to it or anything. And then they don't even buy it anyway. So, I mean, look at this. This fucking thing got 113,000 views and it got 300 likes. Like, come on. Like, but yeah, like I said, they're spineless because they're just going with the current regime. They're afraid to say anything. Oh, got a fucking bruise on my knee. They're fucking the bitches. And it sucks too, because, I was so happy. Fucking Blood Omen's success, spiritual successor, And, but I retweeted their thing again. That was before I saw that their, reply. I quote tweeted, said, LGBT. Yeah, we're concerned about the rise of fascism and the alt-right pushing homophobic agendas into video games and trying to actively erase our existence. The humble, washed-up game dev. Aren't we all just gamers that like vampires? Buy our game, no politics. And that's basically the gist of it, It's like, it's fucking ridiculous. My throat. And I was looking at the replies to that tweet, and somebody replied, if they don't like it, they can always go fishing in quotation marks with a Brokeback Mountain gif, which I can only assume they want, gay people in the closet, not in their face, as in a game, existing in a game. That's like, they say that shit, but it's like, I remember Brokeback Mountain, specifically the hate that fucking movie garnered because it was about a gay couple. And again, there's been 8 movies with gay people as the lead, and it's like there's one gay person in the 100th million fucking straight movie, and they're up in arms, it's crazy. And they replied that the weak turn back, the rest ascend. I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about at this point, honestly. And that's the gist of it. I'm just like, oh my god, it's just so infuriating that it's still so, people are just so stupid, I guess, like, god, the thing is, gay people are a modern agenda apparently. But what about are straight people going to be in your game? Is there going to be any relationship stuff at all? Because if you ask me, that's fucking agenda. That's pushing a political agenda on me, What about religious stuff? I'm pretty sure Blood Omen had religious influences, I mean, it's like vampires and they're evil, but then it's oh my god, it's just so stupid. And it's I was never advocating for every game has a checklist of gay person, black person, fucking, Asian person, or anything. But it's just but if you purposely is we don't want to add any of those people, then that's wrong. Am I making sense? It's so insane to me that it doesn't make sense to people. And I was gonna say that maybe they're not homophobic, that maybe they're seeing Knight's Path garnering so much attention and free marketing with that one tweet, they're trying to jump on the hate wagon, but like without, maybe they didn't fully know. But again, it's like, you know, I think at some point I can't give people too much leeway. Like, there's a lot of stupid people, but like, you can't be that stupid enough to not know what you're saying like that, you know? So I think they are homophobic. I think they are transphobic, maybe racist. I don't really know. But I know I can only go on what they're saying, and what they're saying is, you know, homophobic, racist, alt-right talking points. Like, what else am I supposed to believe, you know? Oh my gosh. Like, what am I gonna... I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna put on the background in this fucking rant video, or if anyone's even gonna watch it. I know you don't make, like, serious type videos like this, but, like I said, I felt like it was important to talk about and to bring attention to, because the thing is, their game is not garnering a lot of attention. And I was worried that, like, the 8 people that like all their tweets, and then the game finally comes out, and maybe it, like, sells a bunch of copies without people realizing the kind of shit that they were saying in the early days of the game, you know? So I wanted to, like, bring attention to that. And it's like, you know... Oh, you know what? I'll play Borderlands. I was playing Borderlands. I'll play more Borderlands. Yeah. I'll get some fucking Borderlands gameplay. Again, Borderlands. Political stance for Borderlands. About the fucking dangers of, you know, fucking unregulated corporations running the world into the ground for their selfish reasons and destroying whole planet, basically, with their shit, you know? Even everything it has, like, political connotation to it, you know? Oh my god, I'm just so fucking... I'm so done with, like... I'm this close to turning into a fucking political, like, content creator. Like, that's all I'll do. Because I'm just so fucking tired of, like, you know, the right says something racist, and then the Democrat left is like, they write a almost strongly worded tweet as their response, without actually, like, standing up to, like, any fucking thing. And then half of the people in the comments are like, they didn't actually mean this. Other half is like, you know, well, I can see what they mean, you know. Black people are a little whatever, or, you know, because they just never can just say what they mean. It's always so... Because, like, I'm fucking autistic. Like, I just say what I mean all the time. I don't, like, play this fucking little hinty, subtle bullshit, you know? It's fucked up. It's stupid. And, like, the thing that I think sucks the worst... maybe not the worst, but, like, I'm arguing with these people on Twitter. And it's like, if you look at the replies to, like, my tweets and stuff, it's like, I'm out there fighting the fight by my fucking self, too. It's like, that's what sucks about, especially Twitter. But, like, the right are all interlocked with their fucking hate. And so they all come flocking to, like, jump on me when I say, you know, gay people deserve to live. They all jump on me, you know? And it's weird, because I always think, like, well, that's fine, like, some more people, like LGBT or left-leaning people, they'll come to my defense, but they never do. I'm always just by my fucking self in the comments and the fucking trenches out here. And, like, sometimes it sucks, it's hard, so sometimes I don't say anything. Sometimes I'm like, not even worth it, you know? Like, fuck it. But the thing is, it is worth it, and whether I'm alone or not, like, I need to stand up for what I believe in, and stand up for people like me, and stand up against fucking tyranny, basically, you know? And you know, like I said, it sucks to fight everyone by yourself, but, like, I'm kind of used to it, I guess. So I'm gonna try, which is what I'm making this video for. So, And I am fully expecting the comments of this fucking video to be insane again. I made one video about old school RuneScape removing the Pride event, and I had like 300 comments. 295 of them were negative and jumping on me. And I had a few, supporters, but just how it's weird. It's like every part of the internet is just right-wing insanity, And it makes me feel really alone and not a part of any group. I'm just like out here by my fucking self. But whatever, I guess. Just how it goes. So yeah, whatever. I hope Deadhaus Sonata. I hope your game selling, going double copper was worth the few tweets that you decided to side with the fucking Nazi regime. So hope it was worth. I hope I fully expect it to happen. But whatever. I don't fucking care. I'll go. I don't even know if I want to play Soul Reaver anymore. Like I've been waiting to play it like the perfect time because of how much I like Blood Omen. But even that, it's like now Blood Omen will have a fucking awful taste in my mouth about that game, and I fucking loved it. But now it's like, do I want to play a game that was made by fucking assholes? Not really. Not anymore. They would rather me fucking get drug out and lynched in the goddamn street than to make one of their vampires maybe gay, Or they don't have to say anything. They didn't have to come out and say no gay people in this, Didn't have to. But yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go nurse my throat more. I feel better now that I ranted, and hope you've enjoyed. I don't know. Maybe get some more commentary videos like this. I know these videos used to pop off back in the day when I was early YouTube. They would play fucking Call of Duty and rant about shit. Don't think it was like 40 minutes long like this. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go. I've been Deej, I've been Happy Credit Inc. And be gay, do crime, LGBTQ, trans rights, human rights. And just remember, even without Donald Trump, Republicans have always been evil, and that doesn't change anything. Fuck them all. Kill people, burn shit, fuck school. I'm out of here. I'm a D.